Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I suggest you go and buy some food from the grocery store, some bread especially, some corn, things like this. Why? Because the Russians pulled out of the grain deal in the Black Sea. Remember the one with Odessa and the delivery to the world of Ukrainian crop? Well, that's off. Why? Because of what happens in Sevastopol. What happened in Sevastopol, Crimea? Exactly 16 drones, Ukrainian drones, with the support of the British experts and military, navy, blah, blah, blah. They attacked a navy ship. Attacked more than one, but they damaged two, they said, but one a little bit, the other one a little bit. And the Russians are upset about it, and they said the deal is off. They must have had a little understanding, but it seems the understanding was broken. We'll see. Let's see here what these guys are reporting. This article comes from Sputnik. It's from today, the 29th of October 2022. Russia suspends participation in grain deal. Ministry of Defense reports. Over the past days, Ukrainian forces have carried out several terror attacks against, remember this is a Russian media outlet, have carried out several terror attacks against Crimea and against Russian ships in the Black Sea. The Russian Defense Ministry stated on Saturday that Moscow is suspending participation in the grain deal, which foresaw the transportation of food and fertilizers from Ukrainian ports via the Black Sea. It's because they transferred everything they had, and now they see themselves on the other side of the river, and now they can look back and pee on you, seems like. And I'm quoting, "In the view of the terrorist attack carried out by the Kiev regime on October 29th, today, with the participation of British specialists against ships of the Black Sea Fleet and civilian vessels involved in ensuring the security of the grain corridor, the Russian side suspends participation in the implementation of agreements on the export of agricultural products from Ukrainian ports," an official statement read. This is strike number 2 from Great Britain. My friends in Great Britain, you're gonna get it. And I'm not talking about this, and I'm talking about this. Don't be so certain, because it's an island. You guys are an island. An island is not moving, and you can pinpoint a few things coming on it, and there's no way to block those things, including a tsunami. Remember what the Russians said? How about we just blow something in the vicinity of the island, and they're going to create a tsunami that's going to wipe the whole Great Britain, or most of it, whatever is necessary. They don't even have to hit the target. And I said 2, strike number 2. I tell you, actually I would say number 3. But let's start with the easiest one. The easiest one was the participation of the British government in supplying weapons, training, money, political support to a country that's fighting another country. That is automatic involvement in the hostility. Hello. So, in the hostilities, however you want to take it. Imagine that, let's say, Great Britain fights, let's say, Argentina again. Okay, for those beautiful islands by Argentinian coast. And let's say intervenes, let's say, Brazil, and does everything that Great Britain does right now for Ukraine. And Brazil does everything to Argentina. What would you say? It's okay. It's all cool, man. Fair game. Give me 5. Right? I don't think so. You will threaten and you will do something about it. So about the morality, we figured that out right now. That is based on this, not based on, okay, we got fair play, man. Yeah, you're not involved because I'm not considered part of the war in Ukraine. No, you are. That's strike number 1. Strike number, which is a general strike. We're going to go pinpointed right now. Strike number 2. Just today, I made a video regarding the Royal Navy's involvement in blowing Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. That is what the Russians claim. hold on, and then say that's real or not. It happened. It is what the Russians claimed today. And if they claim that, they believe it, so that means for them, in their minds, crazy minds, Russian minds, that's strike number 2. And it's pinpointed. Now, today, this morning again, is number 3. Okay? Which is attack on Crimea at 4 o'clock a.m. Crimean time. Alright? With 16 drones. Again, the Russians claim that the British specialists were involved in this and that. The strike number 3. Out of those 3, 2 are pinpointed straight to you. So I don't know how many passes do you think that you guys are gonna have. I'm just concerned, to put it mildly, because I think you are my viewers, are my friends, my subscribers, but you are not guilty of anything. I think that the government should change a little bit certain kind of involvement, because the Russians are going to do something. I don't want to hear what are they going to do. They're going to blow you up. Can they? Yes. Can you blow them up? No. Not to the same extent. And if they strike you first, you can't run like in the Second World War saying, oh, we're going to fight from our colonies and all that. That's no more. No more. Not the case. But anyway, I hope they don't go to that. But this is for the Russians, is strike number 3. Not good. All right, so the Russian, let me see what's this. So the Russian Foreign Ministry also noted that the deal has been suspended indefinitely, since Moscow can't guarantee the safety of the civilian vessels amid Ukrainian attacks. And I'm quoting, given the actions of the Ukrainian armed forces, which are designated as a terrorist attack, led by the UK specialists and staged against Russian vessels ensuring the operation of the humanitarian corridor, the Russian side can no longer guarantee the safety of the civilian carriers involved in the Black Sea Grain Initiative and suspends its implementation from today for an indefinite period, the ministry said in a statement. The ministry added that the relevant instructions have been issued for the Russian representatives at the Joint Coordination Center in Istanbul, which controls the transportation of Ukrainian grains. Meanwhile, a source in the UN noted that Russia plans to request a Security Council meeting regarding the issue. Earlier in the day, the Ministry of Defense said that the preparation of the morning drone attack on Sevastopol was carried out under the guidance of UK specialists in the city of Ochakov. According to the ministry, the attack involved 16 air and sea drones and slightly damaged the Russian naval minesweeper of the Black Sea Fleet. Grain for Europe. Russian authorities had previously criticized the deal, while the accord was supposed to prevent food scarcity among the most vulnerable countries. A large amount of it ended up in Europe instead of Asia and Africa. That's what the Russians claim. Commenting on the recent food deliveries, Russian Agriculture Ministry Dmitry Patrushev noted that 60% to 100% of the food was apprehended by the EU nations, while the situation in the developing countries had deteriorated. I can't confirm that. Cannot confirm. At the same time, he noted that Russia is ready to deliver up to 500,000 tons of grain to the developing countries. So they're the good guys, the other ones are the bad guys, basically. The agreement was struck in July 22 by Russia, Turkey and Ukraine in order to provide a humanitarian maritime corridor for ships with food and fertilizer exports from Ukrainian ports Odessa, Chernomorsk and Yuzhno. At the same time, Moscow noted that the part of the deal concerning Russian food exports was not working altogether, which may lead to the termination of the agreement. I think most of the grain was already delivered, so this guy feel like, so what? By next year we're gonna be okay, you're gonna be dead, so we can get the Ukrainian grain then. I think that's the whole thing. Now we can kick you in the balls because you were dumb enough to agree with our understandings and this thing. So yeah, we screwed you again. That might be the Russian interpretation of the whole issue. And again, my interpretation is you guys are naive. And I'm talking about to the Russians right now. You guys are naive. No, I think they still think a deal is a deal with the West. They don't understand. I don't think they don't, no, they live in denial. But in a denial, it's a kind of strange thing. They know that those guys are here to cut their throat, and they still talk to them like they talk with partners. They don't understand that there's not enemies, deadly enemies. It's like, let's say you befriend remember that song of Police, the band Police, called Roxanne. No, the guy got in love with a prostitute, and he wanted to, to marry, to wife material. Not that person was not a wife material. He wanted to marry that prostitute, but she was a prostitute. And it was not a prostitute necessary, I'm guessing, because of the whatever. That's the way she was. That's the way there are some that love doing what they do. Some are just pushed into that. But a lot of people don't have to prostitute themselves to survive. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know she's a prostitute. You know what she is. You know how she behaves. And you still have to wife her. What are you going to get in return? Cheating and prostitution. The same here. These guys, the Russians, still want to talk with these guys, even if they know these guys are in this to fuck them up. It's unbelievable. I think even Putin thinks the same way. Or at least acts the same way. This is not all war. No, this is a very limited war. And I don't know exactly, they want to continue this war until what? No more Ukrainian nation. That's going to be the first thing that was going to happen. Ukrainians will be no more. Not Russians, not their economy, not the Russian economy, and the Western economy is going to decrease. That's going to be. Is this what the Russians are hoping? That's okay. We're going to keep it. No more Ukrainian. Your economy goes down. You're going to have the European citizens crying and doing some little revolutions here and there, which I doubt. Is that what it's going to be? The Ukrainians who will be no more are going to be substituted by what? The Poles, Romanians, Lithuanians, or what? These guys? I mean, the Poles will be like, fine, no more Ukrainians. How about we take over the territories? We have been waiting already for some time. And the same you Hungarians and maybe Romanians if they're not weasel enough, and others. Is that what's going to be? We'll find out. But I think the Russians still behave and treat the other side as we can make a deal. You don't make a deal with Ukrainians, you make a deal with the West. See how very are the West, or is the West. You got, again, I think, screwed. But maybe you can say, well, what do you want, Emil? That's a war over there. Right, so if it's a war, But I'm pretty sure that if I am the one that I'm supposed to provide security for those vassals, commercial vassals, civilian vassals, I don't want to call it, not military, and you, who are part of the deal, shoot me there, wait a second. Why would I be here? The deal is over. I totally agree with that. If the things are as they are told here, which you can say, well, it's more details. I'm pretty sure there are more details. But as of now, that's the way it is. I provide security, you shoot at me. After you beg to send your shit out so you can make money. Because the world is starving, right? And now you kill us. Thank you very much, no more. But it's too late again, Russia. What did you get out of this? Nothing. Nothing. Did Russia earn anything out of this? No, nothing. But instead these guys attack them. What did Ukraine got? Money from their deliveries of grain, right? What did the West get? Grain. So who's the one who was pounded really deep and numerous times? Russia. Again. Congratulations, Professor Higgins. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.